E te mana whakawā.
I call Nuk Kurako.
A tēnā koe e te mana whakawā. Huri noa te whare, e mihi atu kia koutou katoa. Kia kōrua e nā manuhiri atu araki me Andre me Jen. Nō reira, piki mai kake mai ho mai te wairua. Mr. Speaker, it is indeed my pleasure to take this final call and to talk about the Arts Centre of Christchurch Trust Bill. Sir, I stand here as a proud Cantabrian, as a proud member of Ngāi Tahu Whānui, and then also as a son of mana whenua tuahuriri as well. Sir, indeed, we have heard throughout all of the process of this bill, the journey, and it reflects on the fact about Christchurch, Ototahi, our city, in the fact that there have been, sir, since the 2010 earthquake, the first one, and then, of course, the February 2011. And what that did, sir, was start some incredible journeys. And, sir, this one here is, to me, one of the most amazing journeys since the emergency, the recovery, and now a reflection very much of the rebuild. Sir, the Christchurch Arts Centre, as I said in a previous speech concerning this bill, to Māori, to Ngāi Tahu Māori, this building, sir, was more of an edifice to colonialism. And it was when we were young kids, sir, and we used to come to Christchurch, we actually went to the museum to see all of our own tonga, as opposed to visiting the Arts Centre. And it wasn't, sir, and I acknowledge on the other side of the house, when we talk about Ngāi Tahu Whānui, Mr. Reno Terikatni, and our taua and pauas that used to come in their finery, sir, to Christchurch to visit the museum. But they used to love walking past this beautiful building because, sir, looking at Ngāi Tahu Whānui, they were also very, very well acquainted with Queen Victoria, because if we look at Te Ritua Waitangi, well then, sir, that was really the first beginnings of that under her. So to us, sir, that building of the Arts Centre, its beautiful architecture was very much an acknowledgement of the royal family of Windsor, the English colonialism, which Christchurch is so well known. Sir, this building, though, is indeed, to me, an edifice not only for colonialism, but it is a beacon that, sir, will, once it is finished, and it even has started now, is that it is a beacon, sir, for hope. It is a beacon, sir, for the retention of what little heritage of colonial times that we have left in Christchurch. Sir, like everyone else, there has been some wonderful and very appropriate acknowledgements. And I too, sir, want to acknowledge our local MP who sponsored and championed this bill, the Honourable Nicky Wagner. Sir, also the Honourable Jerry Brownlee as the Minister of Earthquake Recovery. And also, I mihi, sir, to the two really stalwarts who work behind the scenes but have come here for every reading to support this bill. And to Jen Crawford and Andre Lovett, the time will shortly come when the aspirations that we all have will be actually put into effect, hopefully, with the final reading and the final journey to legislation of this bill. Sir, the interesting thing when we've taken a walk down memory lane, my esteemed colleague, the member for Waimakariri. He did an interesting tour. But, Sir, coming back, I want to talk about, because if we're talking about heritage, cultural heritage, there is one part of this bill, Sir, that I believe really reflects not only Euro or colonial culture, but also Ngāi Tahu Māori culture. And, Sir, I want to acknowledge the work under our chair of the Local Government and Environment Committee, Scott Simpson, and also the work again of Andre Lovett and the Trust, because, Sir, what they have actually exercised here in part of this legislation is something that we call kotahitaka, and that is, Sir, true partnership. Because when we look at the makeup of the trust itself, it does represent all of the major stakeholders that will be responsible for the processes that we will run this trust on or with under legislation. University of Canterbury, Christchurch City Council, Heritage New Zealand, the Christchurch Civic Trust, the Ministry for Arts, Culture and Heritage. And the great thing there, Sir, but the second to last one, is that they've also included other local businesses and community organisations with interests in the Arts Centre. And so what that does, Sir, is encompasses a collective of stakeholders that we probably don't think a lot about, but at least it's about kotahitaka or inclusiveness. The final part of that, Sir, the last part that I want to come to is the fact, Sir, is that Papatupu Runanga of Canterbury are also involved and are part of this trust. And this, Sir, is something that I think that reflects the way forward and the way that we work in true partnership as the iwi, working with all of these, particularly with the Crown, with the Christchurch City Council. Because there was a question originally, Sir, because in the original bill, it was actually about tangata whenua of Canterbury. But the work that was done, the questions that were asked, and then we were able to the Trust came back, and also the various officials, and this is where it came back, Sir, to the fact that it wasn't tangata whenua specifically, it was actually about Papatupu Runanga, those that had manawa whenua, they had their heart in the land there, so they were closer than just tangata whenua. Sir, so just to acknowledge that is that when we look at that, it's an understanding too that Ngāi Tahu does not have just one face in Te Runanga or Ngāi Tahu, it has many faces. And the fact is that there are mana whenua, there are Papatupu Runanga, there are whānau, there are hapu. And this, Sir, to me has been an inclusive part of this bill. And I want to acknowledge the work that Andre and Jen have done on our behalf. Kia ora to you. So in conclusion, Sir, the Arts Centre is a very important part of Christchurch's heritage. It is special to the people of Christchurch. Together, collective. This bill, Sir, provides an opportunity for greater certainty around the original intentions of the trustee and provides for the modernisation of the Trust Board's governance structure. I think that's really important because it moves forward into the 21st century and beyond. I want to commend again all of those people, to reiterate those who actually have been responsible to further this bill through the House. I look forward to seeing the Arts Centre of Christchurch restored to its place as a cultural centre for Christchurch, and this bill will help the Trust as it goes through that process. Sir, ki ko raki te tai, ka hu raki te tauka. I would like to commend this bill to the House. Kia ora.
Kia ora. Members, the question is that